Let's give a warm welcome to Lumen's Executive Vice President, Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer, Ryan Asdourian.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope everybody had an awesome time, not only today, but at lunch, at the sessions outside. I had so much fun in my talks, and everyone I've kind of talked to is like, oh my gosh, that was so fun to have a conversation about what is next, where we are going. So thank you, everybody, for the engagement and just bringing the energy and being here. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing in marketing. And I thought just to help me get started here, I might get a little help. So, hey, Elle, would you mind joining me on stage here for a second?
Hi, Ryan.
Oh, hi. Now, Elle here has been introducing all of us up on stage the entire day, but we haven't really properly introduced her. So Elle is our Lumen brand personified, and I thought I'd get a little bit of help to kick us off here. And since we've got all of you analysts here in the room with us, and we're talking about where Lumen's going, I thought maybe I'd get a little bit of help to hear, what Elle can help me understand maybe the perception that she has of you in this room and of Lumen.
Sure, Ryan, I can help with that. The analyst community came here to learn more about Lumen, and that seems like a step in the right direction. They see the opportunity to be a leading provider of technology infrastructure in a massive market. Analysts have also identified an opportunity to strengthen Lumen's brand recognition to unlock value in the AI economy. In fact, your own data also shows this. Less than 2 years ago, the company's brand strength was at 23%.
All right, so 23%, huge opportunity for us. We kind of talked about where we are going and how we're doing, and so Elle, kind of thank you for that. But as we think about the amount of people that we can have Lumen fall in love with us, with what we're doing, with how we are disrupting, maybe I could also get a little bit of help. So Elle, maybe tell me, what do you think could help make the Lumen brand a little bit stronger?
People are at the heart of transformation. Lumen's leadership team is driving one of the greatest corporate transformations in telecom. And historically, the most successful transformations start with people. But the brand tells the story and builds the association with customers. The brand is an expression of the transformation.
All right, well, I also believe that the brand is right at that expression of that. And everything we're going to talk about is really how we go and make sure people understand who we are, what we're doing. And we're really in this transformation. So I'll get a little bit of help. Elle, you think you could help me outline what a brand transformation looks like?
Sure, Ryan. Based on historical data, here's the playbook. Own the category of the future. Mature the organization. Challenge the status quo. Elevate the voice of the company. Maximize the way we partner.
All right, so I got the playbook. Now, if I'm really thinking about the category of the future, we got to think about something that's simple. And from your room keys to the placemats to everything else, I think you've seen our tagline. It's the trusted network for AI. Elle, is that resonating?
Yep, that tracks, Ryan. And it helps support perception in 3 main ways. It clarifies Lumen's role, associates networking with AI, and establishes trust in Lumen. When I look at progress made in brand attributes nationally, Lumen is making headway, influencing hearts and minds. The question that begs to be answered now, Ryan, is who trusts Lumen? Do you have any partners who could add credibility?
I think we've got a couple. We've talked about that a little bit today. You know, it's amazing how we're partnering with the hyperscalers. You're hearing about the enterprises. On the patio, I got to talk a little bit more about where we're going faster with this broader ecosystem. Those are the ones that are really helping us build those customer solutions.
Yes, Lumen has really partnered with some of the biggest names in technology, and the fact that they all see the value of Lumen so clearly speaks volumes about market potential. And I heard there may be some more in the future that you'll be announcing soon. but I don't want to steal your thunder. I'd say you're ready for the rest of your presentation, Ryan. Break a leg.
Awesome. All right, well, hey, thanks, Elle, for helping me get into the flow. Really appreciate it.
No problem, Ryan. Anytime.
All right, so I got a little bit of help from Elle, and I want to talk about what we're doing with our brand, because we see this transformation and where we started, and I want to talk about high maturity brands. When we think about high maturity brands, it's brands that people know, it's brands that people love. And question for the audience, how many years ago do you think the Lumen brand was launched? Does anyone know? Scream it out. Right? Yeah, 5. Okay, right under 5 years. So we're pretty new, right? And we're trying to make sure we understand what it takes to ensure everybody knows what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we're going to change our customers' trajectory. And we are doing this because when you are a higher maturity brand, you start to see things a little bit differently. Your employees, their productivity, they understand the mission, the vision. That North Star that we saw on the slides multiple times today, that is where you get your employees ready to go and ready to understand what is the thing that we're working towards. When you think about externally, who's going to be responsive? Who's going to understand the changes? We're talking about disruption in the telco industry. Well, we need to make sure that our customers are ready to respond, our partners are ready to respond, and the more mature your brand is, the more we can understand how the market can be ready for the new things that we introduce. Things like Rapid Routes, things like Project Berkeley. And then, of course, when you're a more mature brand, the profitability increases, and that's obviously something we're focused on because it's going to really grow us in a different way. Now, when I think about also what makes a mature brand, we've got some really unique assets. So I'm a season ticket holder for the Seahawks. We heard another Seahawks story today as well, and the Seahawks their home is Lumen Field. Now, I'll tell you, as we started to roll this out from 5 years ago to today, people didn't know, who is Lumen? What does Lumen do? We've got this amazing asset, and we started to really hone in on that, talking about the trusted network for AI, talking about our value prop, and talking about how we go and land that with all of our customers. We have the assets, we've got the messages, and it's pretty exciting to be able to go tell our story on that stage at Lumen Field, which we'll hear more about, and we're getting more mature every single day. Now let's talk about the pieces that bring this all together to get to that higher maturity and bring that organization together. The first is data. And here's the thing, the difference between having great data helps you change from reacting to leading. You've got to have strategic decision making that helps you understand what are the right things for your company to do. Your data has to be accessible first. Then it's got to be trusted, and then it's got to be actionable. And this is what empowers, we really talk about strategic, data-driven decisions so you can move with speed and precision. And when we take our competitive intelligence into this, it helps us challenge our own thesis and our own ways of doing work. We have been selling waves for a long time. But as we started to look at the right data, we understood where we were winning in the market and where we were losing. And we were able to say, okay, this is our competitive intelligence. We need a new kind of brand refresh. We need new assets for the sales team. We need new assets on the website. We spun up paid and owned media campaigns to talk about how we were changing the product. It unlocked new levels of impact because people were talking about the product with the same consistent language with the new differentiators that we needed the market to react to. We talked about how important that is for customers to be able to react to the changes you're bringing. What we're doing with that data is we're making sure that every single dollar we spend is having the right impact, it's optimized for performance and growth. So the data, super key. Then we talk about the content. Now, we talked about 1,000 NAS customers. We're very proud about that, and we're going to keep telling the story because it is customer obsessed. And one customer that really stood out here was Churchill Downs. You're going to see even more of the video about what we've done with them, but this was a multi-channel campaign. It's paid, it's owned, it's earned, and it's this compelling documentary style customer video that brought the NAS story to life. The reason it did that is because Churchill Downs runs the Kentucky Derby. And the Derby is, I would say, almost an extreme example of needing bandwidth to scale up and scale down. And what we were able to do is show customers that all of this scale up and scale down is really important. And it's not only in the mindset of sports. It's a great example, but what we saw was then we could tell more and more stories with new customers about how customers need that data to spin up and spin down. You heard about it on data recovery. There are a number of examples that we're able to talk with. And as soon as we launched this story, more customers started to show up in our meetings and in our sales cycles. We got new logos off of this, and we had a 20% lift in the NAS sales compared to the monthly average we were running before. We are looking for content that shows the value of what we are delivering. And right now, we are launching, we're just creating repeatable momentum. The next story is Pac-12, and there's more and more about how more customers are using all of this content and all of these NAS systems to deliver what is important to them. Then, if I talk about the tech that we are investing in. Now, it's really fun to think about our entire MarTech stack because the marketing tech stack is completely changing with Gen AI. The things that we are able to do today are not things we could do at the speed of yesterday. We're aligning with Salesforce and Adobe using their Gen AI capabilities, our social media production, our campaigns. We as a team are now delivering campaigns 65% faster than we did before. And that's because our people are able to focus on how they can use these tools in different ways. And every single team, marketing's using this to drive our campaigns faster. Every single team at Lumen is using and accountable for using AI in everything that they're doing. We're bringing this to the forefront because it is going to, we can't say that we're the trusted network for AI if we're not using AI ourselves. And we're growing that in different ways. And, you know, I'm having a little bit of fun sharing L with you here today. But it's another example of how we are integrating AI into every single thing that we're doing. It's internal, it's external, and I'll tell you one more thing, one more fun thing about the Seahawks. I was there this last Sunday and had a great game, and we rolled out something new. We worked with the Seahawks to say, what is the thing that we could be the first in the NFL to really roll out? And as you think about the technology that this new fiber, this new technology, forward thinking can bring to the fan experience, we want to disrupt the NFL fan experience in the same way that we are disrupting telecom. We built this augmented reality experience with them. They have a hawk named Tama. And Tama actually flies in. You can see on the screen all of the things that are happening in the stadium in real time. And we're using augmented reality in Seattle to show how a Lumen-powered experience can deliver fan engagement and next-gen entertainment. It's one more example where we're integrating AI and we're showing how we can be on the bleeding edge and disrupt brands as large as the NFL. Now, all of this is because of people. I think that's a theme that you have heard throughout today. You're going to hear it after me as well in even more detail. But nothing happens without our people. Our teams, our people are energized by the mission that we are driving here. When we were up doing the Q&A session, I talked about the silos. The most beautiful part about getting to do the Q&A session is that our entire SLT and the layers below that are locked arm in arm. And we're figuring out the ways that we work together and work collaboratively, break those silos, learn fast, fail fast. And something Kate said earlier, our people have to know that after they fail, they can walk back in the room the next day with their head held high. That is a culture change from what we had before and to where we're going, and it's making sure the people can create the data, the content, the tech and bring it all together with the people. We are focused on making the complex simple. There's a lot of complex things that we've talked about today, but we're storytellers at heart. We're making that technology engaging. We're making it accessible. And our job is to figure out a way where we can go and talk about what are the things that are going to change the way people see us from a telco to a technology infrastructure company, because that is what we're doing. We're being the critical infrastructure that is enabling tech in a multi-cloud, AI-first era, and we are empowering companies, and they are listening, and they are understanding, and they are seeing the examples that can help them change their trajectory, because we're storytelling the customers that are using and embracing our technology in new ways. Now, the way we have to make sure we do this is we have to have a challenger brand mindset. It has to question not only the transformation, but the disruption and what we are doing in that market, how we are reshaping it. And by cloudifying this traditional telco infrastructure, it's this agility, it's this innovation. And I'll tell you what, our industry, it is just ripe for it. And we are here for it. That is the Lumen that you are with today. That is the Lumen that is moving into the future. It is meeting the moment. We've been very, very purposeful about this. It's the era of AI. It's decentralized data. It's the new demands, the new speed, the new requirements for latency. All of that is helping us tell this disruption story in the right way. And as we think about what are the things we can tell, we also have to understand what are the things we don't tell the story on. We need to make sure we are committing and over-committing to the things that tell our brand story, to the things that talk about our enablement, and to how we're going to shape it. And everything has to tell our story. Everything communicates. It's our SLT, it's our people on the ground, it's our partners, it's our storytellers, and it's you. And it's telling the story of where we are going and how we are going to land that message. And we have to make that super clear because we want it repeatable and we want it to be incredibly simple versus the complex story that it has been. And then in every single moment, we have to shift the narrative. The world is moving so fast. I think Dave talked about, the last 10 to 25 years and how the next 3 years are going to be the next revolution for Cloud 2.0. We have to be timely, we have to be disruptive, and we have to shift that narrative to outpace our competitors and tell them we've got the tech, we've got the people, and we've got the passion to go move the market. We're bringing together this brand story I'm talking about, with our comms team. We've got the materials, all the data. Now we're telling the exact same story. And guess what? We're being invited into the conversation more and more. We can't just amplify. We have to own that story, own that narrative, and go make sure we align our strategy with this moment. And it's things like the private connectivity fabric wins that we talked about. It's our leadership in NAS. It's the rapid routes. It's the understanding of what OffNet and Project Berkeley can go and bring to this world. It is a new time for Lumen. And because we're invited into those AI conversations, we're getting the media coverage, we're telling our story, and it's having stronger positive sentiment among our IT decision makers. It's got higher quality web traffic. We can see, as we put these announcements out, the unique number of visitors that are coming to lumen.com. The way they're engaging with our content is changing, it's differentiating. They're looking to learn from what we are doing. They're looking to see what kind of impact it can have on their business. And we've got significant national gains from the coverage that you see in the media, across our key brand metrics, and all of the stories that we're going and telling on a national stage. Now, before we dive into this, I'm gonna get a little bit more help. So Elle, if you don't mind, just could you join me up here one more time?
Ryan, I've been here the whole time.
Fair enough. Of course you have. And here's what I was kind of hoping, just to close us out. If you could, we're talking about how we want to differentiate the market. Could you just tell us a little bit about how you see that going?
Based on key factors like embracing a challenger brand strategy, meeting the moment with external communications, capitalizing on high-profile partnerships, and the steps you've made with AI, and working toward overall organizational maturity. Brand strength is up 12 points. ITDM net sentiment towards Lumen has improved nearly 60 points. And looking specifically at large enterprise, results show our strategy is breaking through.
I'll tell you what, when I look at this slide and I see the positive trend that we are on, I think about the story that we are about to tell and the technology that we're about to bring to this world. And it's game-changing. We're gonna keep working. We still have a lot of work to do, but it really looks like our efforts are paying off. And I know we kind of started from the bottom, but now we're singing a different tune. Thank you.